Originally from Corona.
Originally from Corona.
All right, so what's happening in Florida that everybody's leaving us?
Irma, I think it was that. I think Irma, they came back. They're like, yo, fuck that. They're like, yo, they had to come back real quick.
Yo, crazy. I actually had a friend who said, I'm moving to Florida for bigger and better things. And then this happened. And I was like, yo, so you sure? He's like, nah, nigga, I'm looking in Long Island now. And I'm like, oh, okay.
He disappeared for like 3 weeks. He's like, yo, I thought you were in Florida. Nah, I was in Long Island. I was in Massapequa, though.
Yeah. You remember? Yo, today we have Off the Mental.
Yeah.
Is that what you go by?
That's what we go by. Will, you know, it's off. It was always off.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know Will, right?
Yeah.
I just found out his name earlier. But I know Will through, you always came out on my popular page. Like, it was always say, like, Off the Mental. Is it Off the Mental one?
Yeah. But yeah, there was a kid running out there that actually switched it up and tried to use it, so I had to change it. It's Off the Mental one, but I just did one just to change it.
I was trying to figure out why you got the name, but then somebody had told me you freestyle.
Yeah, the name actually, back to MA.
Oh my God.
He gave you the name.
Yeah, I gave you the MA.
He gave you the name.
MA. Yeah, actually it was KS. It was actually KS and then MA. It's like off, you know, he kept calling me off because the way that I got it, I used to, on 103rd Street by Our Lady of Sorrows there. You know, it was always me and Jay. The whole music thing, I used to sell his mixtapes, Aviation, all the schools, him and Camilo's mixtapes, basically. So when we started doing our thing and rapping, we used to stand on the corner there with KS, which a lot of people don't know who KS is. If you do, he's on Orange is the New Black. He was on Power as Ariel, the guy that got shot with the tattoos and everything. KS is doing his acting thing right now. So it was always me, KS, Saint, DJ Saint, Shala, right in the corner. And we used to rhyme. So at that time in high school, they used to
Sure, it was all rhyming only, though?
Huh? Yeah, it was on.
They're not gonna say the word.
It was only rhyming.
It's
Yeah,
only rhyming.
my uncle,
Help in the community.
No, my uncle owned the bodega right in the corner, so it was only rhyming. So the gates came down.
Did he only sell food or did he sell numbers?
Yeah, till the gates came down. So you know where the flower shop was at, right there on the third. So
didn't a bus run through it or something like that?
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's what it did.
Oh, right there by Chinese
It used to
food.
be a barber shop in the corner,
That's right.
Manaluki.
Where Rael is at now,
Yeah.
cutting. That's the store there. That was my uncle's store. And we used to hang out there and up that block. So we used to rhyme. I used to go by Son of Sam, like in high school, like in junior high school. So when we used to record and stuff, I never used to write rhymes. Like we used to just record. We had the little 4-track. And I just go in, I just start off the top. He's like, how the hell you did that? I was like, I don't know. That's the way I like. And Jay will always tell me too, like, nigga, don't write. Just go into the booth and do what you do. So then as K and KS and all of us, we had a crew called 40 Below. At 40 Below and 103rd. And we just used my boombox every day after school. And we used to battle people. Whoever came around 103rd, we would battle. And then we would go to 101. So MA used to be like, yo, off. So, yo, kick something off the top. Like anybody that walked through the street think they're a battle rapper. So that name came from that. It was off the top of that. I took pride in that shit. Like I wanted to battle everybody. So and that's how it came. And then JB, rest in peace. MA introduced me to JB from All the Right Records in George, and JB started managing me. But to get there was a whole different. I'll give you a
process.
break. It was a crazy process. We used to always be in JCNY's studio in the back. That's how we used to record on his 4-track. He was my DJ when it was time to perform. He was the DJ, and we just used to inspire each other all the time. It was all about helping each other out. It was never no grimy shit. So that's why to this day you see him sitting here. That's why we're here supporting, because that's the way it is.
Speaking of which, Jay? That's what you go by? JCNY. Can you introduce yourself? Because I feel like people want to know who's this Jay he's talking about.
Word, like
Colorworks.
JCNY, I DJ for many, many years. But then I kind of fell in love with art and graphics, and I started doing the art stuff, the graphic stuff, and we created a company called Colorworks. And we're doing pretty good out there.
Hold on.
We're doing pretty well.
Wait. So you used to just how many years you got going on?
5 years, but Colorworks just came up about the last year and a half.
Because in about 10 minutes, I'm about to close this podcast, start DJing. If I'm going to end up having a spot like this. Like, my nigga, this shit off of DJ? This all came from DJing?
Nah, you know, it just came from...
Or it came from that corner as well with the flop.
I mean, we're from Corona at the end of the day. Nah.
Where it happened at.
All it was hard work. Hard work, man. That's all it is, man. Hard work and just on it. And, you know.
That's dope.
You know.
I heard of Colorworks through Serge. I've been to his studio, and I know he...
Partner, yep.
Also, this is where Colorworks is at. Why did I think it was like, when he was mentioning it, I thought it was like Manhattan or some shit, like some apartment in a building.
That's the image, that's perception.
I mean, hopefully, we're in Long Island City, so we like to kind of keep that city vibe, that Williamsburg vibe. You know, Long Island City's on the come up, you know.
For those that don't know that are listening, we are in the Colorworks office, studios,
facilities, studios.
exclusive.
Facilities, warehouse.
Fucking 3 miles from parking.
Yeah.
I know, I'm parked there. Oh, you parked over there?
Yeah, he parked
Damn,
right
I wanted a
behind us.
ride, nigga. I wanted you to give me a ride to my car.
I'll give you the ride.
We appreciate it. You see that box I'm carrying around, son? Don't worry, it's only until we find a home. We homeless right now. We all homeless right now looking for a spot. That's dope. Now, off the mental, I went on your Instagram.
Yeah.
I see one thing you like to do is show love, support, and everybody. Where does that come from? Like,
Honestly, it comes from, I think I'm still living out a dream through seeing what you guys do. As Jay knows and anybody in Corona will tell you, I've never been the type of dude to be a show-off. I've given bigger opportunities for myself to other people. Just because I felt if I wasn't ready at that time, it doesn't mean just because I'm in front of the opportunity, doesn't mean I should just throw it away. I give it to somebody. I'll give you an example. You remember that song, Oye Mi Canto?
Yeah.
Right? With SP Killer. When that song came together, SP, you know, shout out to SP Killer, you know, he did one of my first singles and everything with Coogee Rap on the other side and SP. But SP came to me because I knew investors and stuff like that and told me about that song. He said, yo, this song is going to be a hit, which as we know, it changed the culture. It changed the culture. With Nori and everybody, you know, it changed like the whole culture. Mm-hmm. So he came to me and he told me like, oh, if you know, this is a song that I think is gonna be a hit. I could have gone different ways with it. I could have hated it. I could have been like, yo, put me on the song. You know, at that time it was between Tego or Daddy Yankee to be in it. That was the mix. It was gonna be either Daddy Yankee or Tego. You know, and Gemstar, obviously my man Gemstar and Mado, of course. You know, and I turned around and I was like, yo, SP, this is bigger than you think. And at that time I was working as a doorman in the city for rich investors, but I always like politicking.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I knew an investor, big money, and I set up a meeting for SP, for that record. Set up a meeting, and the dude slept on the record. And 2 months later, the record did what it did, and the investor was like, yeah, you guys killer, that was crazy. And I told the investor, he's like, oh my God, is that the record that I'm here? I said, I told you.
That
man.
shit was
I got
everywhere.
talented people
Nigga.
in my neighborhood. Like SP Killer is one of the best producers, producing Nori's album, CNN. And we were friends. We all used to record together with Lex, Hitless, you know, and JC, and he did a single for me. But again, that was an opportunity. I've never been a greedy type dog. And I don't have enemies. I walk in the hood and niggas will tell you, that's not what I do. I get more. Like what I see you guys, I pick up energy from that, and I'm 1,089 miles away. Mm-hmm. So that's where it actually came from. Like when I used to do my music, I think we had each other at that time. We didn't have technology. We used to throw stickers and put up his stickers and my stickers in the trunk and put it on. That was our marketing. We used to grab Alina, your aunt, we used to, Joanna, we used to grab your family actually, Cree, and they used to jump in the van with us. And we used to go all over putting up stickers in Manhattan for my single coming out, Off the Mental.
I would love for that shit to be like that though again. I hate the
it's
social
hard.
media shit.
It's just social media. It's hard.
That essence, like I would love to fucking go back to that shit.
Party, like teen club party, like that's what we were promoting. Like when I was in high school, these bozos. Like,
And that's what people don't understand. Like at that time, yo, the hood, we were supporting each other. Like, yo, all the girls will meet up in All the Right, and when it was in Junction, we'll meet up there, and JB, rest in peace, had the box full of stickers. Like, yo, Off the Mental, we got the new single coming out with Coogee Rap, and you know, which I was also blessed by. You know what I'm saying? Coogee Rap to do a single with me at that age, I was like, wow, this is huge. But everybody supported. So when I see you guys doing this, I want to give that same thing back, because we didn't have what you guys have now, and there's so much more competition now. Back then, the only reason we couldn't do it because it was either record label or nothing.
Right.
So that
Nowadays, you put anything on SoundCloud or YouTube and that shit.
there was
A bitch
it.
got signed for $1 million off of saying "How about that" on a fucking TV show. Like,
Hey, the song is alright. Don't hate on the hot bitch.
we had JCNY and we had DJ Camilo, which shout out to both of these guys. If we had a record, shit, I had Camilo used to play our songs off of a tape, and JC in a club. In Casablanca, Ilusiones, we used to do rap battles over there.
damn.
Yeah.
Now wait, so SP, he made the song with the chorus already, or
Oye Mi Canto?
Yeah.
Well, that was, when I heard it, it was like formulated. I just don't remember if Tego was on. It was something between Tego or Daddy Yankee. It was something, I don't remember because it was so early. And he was like, yo, this is going to be, and I was like, yo, SP, I got to put you in front of some big people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fire. So, you know, and that happened. But it was, Nori did his hook. Like, SP, yeah, and it was crazy.
But that song was big though. It was. I don't know if it was just it was the right time. It's just about time.
every black person knew Spanish around that time.
Because Daddy Yankee came out with Gasolina. That's when Gasolina was popping. So he came. No,
I'm surprised we haven't had SP on there.
Killer.
He's in Florida.
He was
too.
here the other day, wasn't
Yo,
he?
another one?
he's in
All right, look,
Florida.
Yeah, he's in
we're
Florida,
putting
too.
a ban on all Florida. Florida, that's it. We took over Florida. We had enough guests up here. How many Florida guests have we had?
3.
Remember when I moved to Florida for like 2 weeks?
For 2 weeks.
With
came
my
back?
cousin JS. I was like, yo, I'm moving to Florida, guys. I was like,
JS
I
is your
can't-
cousin?
Yeah.
That's my man, bro.
Really?
We were just together over there. He went over there. We went and had lunch. JS is my man.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know.
Be listening here.
That's
Yeah,
cousin.
he
Alex
used to
was
make
trying to-
he used to make our clothes and our jackets. He
Yeah.
made my jacket with my name on it. He was
That's why when I walked in, I said I recognized this place from that. I didn't know the name of it, but I knew your other store. So because JS was like, "Yo, go there and like stick around there and get influence and stuff." But you know,
Big
around that
supporter.
time, you just get hard headed and be like, "I don't gotta listen to you."
big supporter. Now your JS.
No.
It's always that older cousin, younger cousin
Yeah,
mentality.
that vibe.
It's always that.
Well, here's the thing with me
It's
and
always
JS. I think me and JS are the same person, but I just don't like the fact that he's above. So it's like I don't want to respect
because he's
like,
older than you?
You're not, like I don't like the fact he's older, and it's like, yo, you only did it first because you older, nigga. But nah, I'm just playing. If he's listening, that's my cousin.
Another hood trendsetter. Doing his own book bags, his own logo. You know how hard it was to take that risk back then? We used to take his book bags and wear them to school just to promote it.
I remember those book bags. It was Nestwear
And that's where.
and School Hard Knocks.
Correct.
That time it was.
Yes.
In Corona, it was hard as hell.
How deep
It
is
was
that?
2. It was both of them. Like
You were part of that?
Yeah.
Part of it, but I've always supported JS.
Oh.
Me and him, we've known each other for years. So we worked together, we've done stuff together.
Look at that, son. You see how small
It's
this
It's
small.
world is?
small. It's, I feel
Well,
like
the neighborhood.
it's the neighborhood.
And the reason why, too, I felt like, you know, we should have this episode is because, like you said earlier behind the scenes, that, for example, KS, we didn't even know he was from Corona.
Yeah,
He's
man.
here on Power. Not that I want to have him on the show
No,
because
but
he
he-
killed Julio, but it's
We
like,
might have
yo,
a little
like
grudge.
we had KS is from Corona. Like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
Nobody knew that.
He's on FX too.
It's Netflix.
He got an Orange is the New
Orange
Black.
is the New Black.
He plays
He's-
this girl's
that stepdaddy, no?
No, the baby daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the baby daddy?
He's
I thought he was
baby
the
daddy.
stepdaddy that didn't want
He's
them
the baby
kids.
daddy.
All right, whatever. I haven't seen this season.
No, because
Yeah.
he got the girl pregnant. She went in, and then he was outside. That's what.
Okay. So, no, but it's crazy because,
That was an
crazy.
awkward
like I was
silence.
saying, like how
Yeah.
I feel like the younger generation has lost connection with the older generation because
Yep.
you motherfuckers keep moving to Florida too. But aside from that, it's like they looking at it like we don't know who did it first, or so they're not gonna respect. And it's not their fault. I'm not saying that they're disrespecting either, but it's just that there's no attachment there. There's no connection. Like
I think nowadays,
Yeah, man.
Rivieras, the girls.
DJ Blaze.
Riviera. Who's
DJ
talking about
Blaze.
Riviera?
DJ Blaze, me and Blaze. Blaze NYC. Yeah, I got some girls that waiting for us at Riviera, so.
Let's just got
Back this shit up. Thank y'all for listening. It's been a great show.
we gotta go catch
What's up, Diamond? What's up?
catch us at Rivieras.
Shout out to you, baby. I see you in a minute.
Wrap this show up.
Yeah, man. It's funny.
I'll never want to walk back into Riviera. So.
Yeah, man. But it is that's what I'm telling you. That's what it comes down to, man. Like, it's just the support that when I see you guys doing it or anybody, like I said, my IG account is, I'm not even, if you notice, I'm private. I'm not looking for 50,000 followers. I did it originally. I'd rather have 500 leaders than 10 million followers. That's the way I live life. You know what I'm saying? So even though people say, oh, but you're not promoting, you're promoting within your own. I said, it doesn't matter. It's empowering themselves. I want you guys to empower yourselves and know, if you don't know what you have around you to empower yourself, it's no good, because all you got is 1,000 haters out there that ain't gonna try to help you. But if you go in with an army, that's gonna help you. The reason we got into clubs, the reason Jay was doing all the clubs in the city and Camilo and everything, Camilo had a Spin One, who he had his whole clique, Yuda, Juggernaut, everybody in that little clique, Strictly Live, they moved together as a unit. And eventually they all were coming up, and Camilo had this, and Camilo caught the, he caught the vibe and took off. And a lot of those guys we used to do parties with in 82nd in the park, freestyle battles in Junction Park. And I mean, I still got pictures and stuff like Gab Gotcha, everybody. Like, I'm telling you, man, it's one of those things. So that's the inspiration behind everything, and what keeps me motivated, man. I'm home raising my kids, man. I got my job. I'm happy. I'm content. I'm not saying I'm a millionaire or nothing like that, but I'm happy waking up on a Sunday and just chilling.
Right.
But when it comes to music, you can't fuck with me. I'll tell you who's popping right now. I'll tell you line for line, because that's what I love. That's my passion.
This thing.
Right
I
now-
knew he was gonna ask that question.
Let me tell you,
Lil Uzi Vert?
to me, no. I'll tell you what I'm listening to right now. DJ K-Slay mixtape. I think he did something incredible.
You know what's crazy? You're not the first person.
Yeah.
Marco told me about, yo, have you heard the K-Slate tape? And I was like, I haven't.
K-Slay just did something like DJ Khaled did with all these pop stars. DJ K-Slay did it with the lyricists. You need to listen to that. He got a song with Ice-T, Coogee Rap.
Damn.
He got a song with Papoose, AZ, and my song.
How the fuck?
Exactly, like the
It's a
combinations.
Crazy, like, you know what's
are-
crazy? I was telling somebody, my bad, not to
No, no,
but
no, no.
about AZ. I was like, yo, AZ, where's AZ at? What happened to AZ now that he's back? It's been a long time.
I'm listening to Ali Vegas.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's what Ali. You gotta listen to Ali Vegas.
He had beef with the one you say I look like. So
Oh.
that's why I like. That's why I like him with Fab. But
With
Nobody says you look like Fab. Stop it, fam.
Listen, Ali Vegas.
fam, continue. Continue, please. I don't want to go at it with this.
Nobody-
fucking-
He got a little
Nobody-
resemblance to Fab.
No, don't stop
Let me
it.
tell you something,
Stop
son.
it.
Let me
Don't-
tell you
don't get
something.
them guys, stop.
Let me tell you something,
Stop
son.
it. Stop
Go
it.
through my comments of every selfie I've ever posted and see if there's not at least one Fab comment there.
With or without the shades.
No, that's because he
Anyway,
referenced
continue.
Fab
So, Ali
quotes.
Vegas, who else?
The only reason why.
It's crazy. Ali Vegas, I still listen to Joe Budden's old stuff, defending how I'm feeling. Like, when he was in his feelings, Joe Budden, like lyricists, when I want to feel into that battle mode, I listen to DNA, support Corona the whole time. Like, I'm into all that, you know what I'm saying? But right now, K-Slay has my ear. Like I say, I listen to Ali Vegas. My Nas stays in my car, all my Nas albums, my J albums. Again, I'm not hating on the kids that are out right now. I'm not hating on them. I love to support the it's just not my music, not because I'm old. I know new kids right now that I will listen. I listen to Joey Badass before I listen to Little Uzi Vert.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
But
Like,
it's your feel. It's like that's just like I always tell people, you can't blame us for liking that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you guys like Joey Badass because y'all. No, that's what we like. That gives us a taste of like our old
Yeah.
ways. Like, damn, just a new song came out.
Yeah.
in that realm.
But the problem is that people still stuck on their ways too. Some dudes like, oh, I remember the Wu-Tang days and the like. Dude,
Yeah, some dudes just won't let it
just
evolve,
let
and it's
it
like, my
go.
man.
It's
let
the
it
same
go.
thing. Even Wu-Tang was different when it came out. Redman was different when he came. Busta Rhymes was like a whole. Busta Rhymes to that generation was what Lil Uzi Vert is to.
Yeah.
They look at him weird. They're like, who the
Andre
fuck is this
3000.
weird? Andre, mad dudes.
You know, it's the way you look at it, man. Like, I respect it. Like, everybody's talking about that Eminem freestyle, and a lot of people are saying they don't like it. It was whack, but you gotta look beyond that. Eminem wasn't trying to spit that hard Eminem rhyme.
Yeah.
He did something ill. He took a little bit of bars to take your attention,
Right.
and he spit what's going on, what we wanted to hear, and he made it relevant. He had to dumb himself down to make everybody smarter.
right.
That's the way I looked at it. So somebody asked me, yo, Off, I forgot who it was. Like, yo, Off, I didn't really like that. I didn't like that Eminem joint. I think it was me and Rich were talking about it yesterday. I was like, Rich, that's not the point. Like, if that wasn't Eminem was a bigger message.
Of course. The white guy
And
had
a
to do
white
it
guy
because
is-
like
is
he
even
knows
more-
his power. Eminem knows
Well,
who
he
the
has
fuck
the
he
power
is.
that he
Like,
dominated black culture.
right.
And now that he's standing up for it, it's beyond.
So it's
the
like
rap,
he
beyond
knows he
everything.
had to do
Yeah,
that. Like,
he had to.
I mean, if
course.
we would have heard J. Cole say it again or Jay-Z,
yeah.
it's like, yeah, we know, but y'all not
Yeah.
do. But for the white guy to stand up and say, yo, tired of this shit.
One of my boys, his brother is on Oz, that HBO back in
Oh,
the day.
yeah,
Yeah, his
yeah,
brother. That's he was a security guard at Aviation High School, and you know we're always on Instagram going back and forth. And today he posted something. He said, you know what? I don't know why nobody noticed this, but it would have made more sense if Eminem had all the dudes behind him kneeling down while he rhymed.
That would have been.
That's another perspective.
Right.
Right.
He had all the African American dudes behind him, but he didn't have them kneeling. He had them just chilling. He said, but when my son did the freestyle BET cipher, at the end he kneeled and put his fist in the air.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I think it's just a
It's all,
message.
it's all the message.
It's a
I mean,
message.
I wouldn't have kneeled for 3 minutes of Eminem rapping. I would have been my nigga.
Yeah.
You ain't done yet?
Nigga. Like, get to the
Yeah,
bottom
yeah.
of this shit. Like, I gotta go home.
I think Chris wanted to know though who you listening to around the neighborhood.
All right, around the neighborhood, and no BS.
Al Goon better be your top 5.
When I posted, let me tell you. Oh yeah, because Rick was like, yo, Off told me about Al Goon. Because when Al Goon was first, when was out, I was like, yo, Al Goon could write hooks. Like, I'm really
He's that dude,
I'm a
yeah.
critique, not a bad
Right.
critique, but I'm like, yo,
Nah, keep it real.
I keep it real. Like, yo, Al Goon could write hooks. When he had that Sin Santana, and Sin Santana was hot at that time, if he would have had the right machine behind him, he would have gotten it popping.
Right.
Yeah,
He would have gotten it popping.
Of course.
And but the right machine wasn't with him, so I noticed the hooks so Al Goon I was listening to, of course, Felix and them dog, the Rabia mixtape, not because that's my man's and both of my man's, but it's hard.
Nah, let me tell you something
It's
about
hard.
that
Stop
mixtape.
playing. I think Eminem would run down.
I got it in my
niggas to
car.
make Niggas listen to it.
No, listen, it's hard.
Nah,
It
that
is.
mixtape is. I love
Yeah.
it.
Shout out to them dog and Felix. They came hard on that, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? So definitely that. Like, when I post something, it's because I actually listen to it. I'm not trying to be a source editor. I do it out of love. Like, that's it. So as far as the hood, of course, DNA. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. DNA's last mixtape was crazy. Silver mixtape.
Yeah.
I think he did
Silver
a great
Cup, yeah.
job for a battle rapper. I think he had people thinking like, oh, battle rappers can't do songs. He did a pretty good job.
Well,
He
except
did a
Sue
decent
Surf.
job.
You know what I'm saying?
Sue Surf can fucking rap, but we're talking about
Sue
DNA right
Surf,
now.
yeah, Sue
We're
Surf,
talking about
he's
DNA right
Because
now.
he's into battle rap,
yeah.
so Sue Surf is like a big dude that
Oh, yeah,
actually
yeah.
transitioned.
He can
and
rap.
He
He can rap.
make
But
songs.
not saying that DNA can't. Let's not take it away from him, right?
You know, I never really heard anything of Sue Surf, but he can actually do songs.
No.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Like, when
I'll
his
give it a chance. I'll
mixtapes
listen to
drop,
it.
it's like, yo, it's a mixtape. Like, you
Yeah.
go get
Yeah.
that shit. Like, not to take away from DNA. D, keep doing your thing, right?
No, the concepts behind DNA are ill.
Yeah,
You take a whole song and do Queen's shit, and
Like,
you
chop
know
it
what I'm
up
saying.
and stuff like that. Rap for the culture.
Not only that, for what he did with Shook Ones, with or without Havoc appearing on it in the video or
Right.
not,
The song.
he did a great job. Not just anybody could take some shit, and him and Mel, which again is another incredible piece to the whole Corona talent thing. Mel to me is also like, to me, I think a triple threat. I seen this kid from the beginning. Like, Mel could do songs.
Yeah.
I listened to Mel too, his albums,
Wait,
Taino
does
and
he
all
got
that.
Yeah, that's what I said. Taino
Yo,
was coming out.
Mel has his own lane too. Like Mel, like what's his kid? He could have his own audience for like a Lupe Fiasco
Right, okay.
audience.
Like a conscious rap.
Yeah, but Mel does beats, Mel does videos. You remember Mel was doing videos back then.
Right.
So again, I listen to all these people and I listen to their albums. So as far as that, yeah, I listen to Al Goon. I listen G Wits is nice too. I don't know G Wits on a personal level, but
He's good.
and Al Goon I met.
He's got like him.
No, he got. I just like the energy behind them right now. All those guys, you know what I'm saying?
You feel like they need that push. They need something bigger than Corona to really scoop down and be like, yo, you coming with us.
They need a plan.
Yeah.
They need to make a plan and execute it. You know what I'm saying? Because we could all rap forever. We could post on SoundCloud. We could do everything. I tell this to my son. My son is 15 and he always wanted to rap. I didn't go and buy him Pro Tools or anything like that. I went and he actually had to hustle to get his speakers and get his stuff, and I let him do his thing and build himself up. I said, you got to come up with a plan. You can't just drop a freestyle and think you're going to drop a mixtape tomorrow. Right. You got to execute. You got to sit down and say, I'm going to do an album. And when you do an album, don't just talk about guns and drugs and this and that. I say, I want you to cry in a song. Like, do a song about your mother. Do a song with that mean. Like, Tupac's hottest song was about his mother. Like, come on, man.
Word.
Like, people
that's
don't.
pre-Suge Knight era.
Yeah, like people don't realize that. Like we have lost that. Now if it ain't about pills and if it ain't about scissor and all that, you ain't popping. Nah, you know why? Because we haven't taken a risk to go back. Like people who don't like hip hop, the first thing that I tell them is, you don't like hip hop? Do me a favor and go listen to Nas. I Gave You Power. You tell me if hip hop is whack. Who could take a gun and decipher this shit like that and still give a message about how I cripple your daughter and cripple your style? Like.
They don't do it like that no more.
Nah,
Don't do it like that. I be trying to get
I
these
feel like
guys
these
to do
rappers are
mixtapes.
these new rappers are trying to make out with a nigga. Like I feel like these niggas is soft.
And make it seem cool.
And make it seem
like,
cool. Like y'all
eventually
niggas is soft.
eventually
like,
you look crazy for looking at them crazy.
word,
Like, you don't make out with niggas?
Like you don't make out with niggas? Like I feel like these rappers make niggas
Like, and then
make
you
out
feel
with
like,
niggas.
yo, wait, am I out of like, should I? You start questioning yourself, like, yo, should I? I respect the music today. How do I say it? Do I respect it? I guess I respect what's going on. Because it's by drug. Remember we said that? Whatever drug is in style, the music correlates to it. Like,
Link's book too, Slink. I don't know. Let me tell you, Link's book too is a whole different vibe.
Nah, I fuck with Links for. We mentioned him for a long time.
Links, whatever.
You got
from the same block.
Links
So.
and Slink. Oh yeah, we did a song together in the winter. They made me, they were like, come on, let's do this off, and I was like, all right, I'll fly down. It was a pretty cool joint. You know what I'm saying? I did that just off because the talent is there.
With Links, I feel like, well, at the time when he was coming up, I was fucking him heavy. He was sounding like Asher Roth. Him and Asher, similar voice. And then Asher Roth fell off. It's washed. So I feel like Links could.
There's something about Links that I like. There's like a rawness.
Yeah, chorus.
There's a
the
rawness.
beats,
one thing
the
he
beats.
has not switched it. Like he's 100% to his.
Didn't go to like
to
the
his
ever.
style,
Didn't try to go to a snappy beat. Didn't try to change.
Listen to his songs and
I fucks with
him and
heavy.
Slink. His rawness is nice. I like, and he's creative. He's creative. He don't slack on the bars. He's the type of person that I listen to music. The minute he feels like that bar is gonna be whack, you could see that he went back and was like, all right, let me make it sound ill. Like the other day, I posted something for him. He had that song out which I like it. They do their own beats.
He's a one-man band too. Like, he does it all.
videos, beats, everything.
So when
editing everything.
Yeah, when you really ask me who I listen to, I really listen to you niggas, my niggas in the hood. Like I really.
And then your favorite rapper too. You can't forget about him. Banksy.
Yeah, that's. I'm waiting for you to ask me about him. I'm waiting for you to ask me about Banksy. I'll tell you all about. I'll tell you about Randy Blanco. I'll tell you.
You have a
about
relationship
Randy
with Banksy?
Let me tell you. I got a relationship with all these. That's what I'm saying, man. It's like I get goosebumps and niggas don't understand. Sound like Nori on the podcast. You know how when he gets drunk and he starts showing everybody love? Like, yo, man, you know.
Well, we would have had drinks today, but
yeah, nah, we good, we good. But
Burn was due this month, so
yeah, I just had Rabo, nigga, Rabo, so I gotta, to burp it up and shit. But Banksy, shout out to George, man, another big supporter of Corona Talent. George G at All the Right, and he would have the All the Right store, and he had the turntables up there. So JB,
I remember that.
JB was my manager at that time, and let me tell you how it got there, so you can understand, because this is something that I thought of. So anyway, at that time, DJ Camilo, and JC were popping with the mixtape scene. I was selling mixtapes. Camilo did a tape called Latin Connections, like 50 MCs with Tony Touch. which he grabbed, Latin people who were popping at that time to him, Latin. It was Cuban Links, Big Pun, and they all did joints for him, like Royal Flush. Not Royal Flush. Actually, there was a B-side to Royal Flush, but it was Latin Connections. So anyway, I got lucky, and I got on it. That's big, Camilo's tape, and even though that's my man, I never went up to him like, yo, put me on. I waited for my turn, like, yo, you buzzing now, like, let's do it. So Camilo calls, yo, off, I want you to do a joint. So I did it. All those MCs, Cuban Link, I mean, you could look it up. I actually text Jug the other day to have Camilo send me that tape. So anyway, we're there, and about a month later, I get a phone call. And it's Carlos Pimentel. Carlos Pimentel was a manager for Loud Records. He was managing Carl Thomas, managing the Beatnuts. And I was
like what, like 2000, early 2000?
1998, 97. Yeah.
So we're talking about like 1962.
Yo, it was. Shout out to Jew. Jew. Shout out to Jew
I don't
and
even
Les.
think he was even born then. Like in 62.
Yo, Jew and Les always show love, and I'll tell you a story about that. I don't even know. Jew got to remember. That's a classic too. A lot of people don't know that story, but basically, so Carlos Pimentel called me like, "Who's this?" He's like, "Oh, this is Carlos with Loud Records." Dude, and I always did my thing. Yeah, I got that phone call, and I'm talking about, I'm like 16, 17. I'm like, what's up? He's like, yo, I want to meet you, man. I heard you on Camilo's tape, and I honestly think, like, you the hottest dude. And I'm like, what?
Wait a minute, me?
Yeah, I was like, nah, you bugging. He's like, yeah, I want to set up a meeting with Loud Records. So I go back to the block, and I try to keep it on the low. Like, at that time, like, I was like, I always used to do my own thing and try to set up shop and then take the niggas with me. Like, let me see what's going on and then analyze the situation and then see what am I gonna put in the right place so I won't fuck up the opportunity. You don't wanna take a Beanie Siegel to a meeting when you're sitting with the Jay-Z that's thinking of the future. Like, I always thought like that. So basically, I turn around and I forgot I was on the block or something like that. And then JB approaches me. He's like, yo, I want to talk. Oh, I was going all the right. He's like, yo, I want to talk to you. I said, what's up? He said, yo, I heard you got a meeting with Loud Records. And JB, rest in peace, you know what I'm saying? JB was the man, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how you know about me? He's like, MA told me. So props due to MA. MA was like, I said, MA. He's like, yeah, MA told me that you hot. You the hot one buzzing right now, and I should fuck with you. Like, he said, you got a manager?
And this is MA, like, Beatnut Terror.
Yeah.
MA was running around with
with
Beatnuts.
Drew,
for him to say that.
performance,
Well, that's
It's a lot. It's a lot.
He said he's getting them checks. Remember?
Yeah, it was.
we pocket watching.
You fucking watch
We
it?
know he's
No,
still
one, I
getting
saw
them
he got
checks.
2 chains.
Yo, man.
I see that. I see that.
You saw it, right? Like it
I
just
see
came
that.
through.
I don't know.
like-
But I guess they all just came together and they sent him that check.
That ass cap is heavy.
Yo,
Yeah.
that nigga came home and I was like, now I know this nigga.
Yo, M-Dog always showed love, and he told JB, he's like, yo, off is popping. So JB's like, yo, I'm going to that meeting with you, just like that. On some real, I'm going to the meeting with you. At that time, I didn't have nobody to go to this big meeting with. Could I have handled it by myself? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I was sitting a bunch of execs, and I didn't know what was about to happen. So I was like, all right, little did I know that JB knew Carlos Pimentel because affiliation through the Beatnuts, and JB also managed somewhat Beatnuts at one point.
Okay.
So JB, was part of the Beatnuts in a lot of ways, and MA, they were brothers, So, and I knew Jew too. I knew Jew since I was a kid. The first day I met Jew was through my cousin Dio, which you guys know. Dio lived right across the door from Jew in the building.
Let's plug him in real quick. Make sure you get your haircut at Corona Barbershop Plus, where hair meets style.
Yeah, cuz you know that.
We gotta plug him in.
He was ready for that.
We gotta plug him in, man, because he gave us a place when we had nowhere to go. But continue, sir.
So anyway, I just to go back a little, I met Jew as a kid. That was the biggest inspiration, by the way. Nobody could front and act like in Corona besides Coogee Rap. But Coogee Rap was already in another world to us from 37th Avenue. But the fact that the Beatnuts shot their first video there, Rain on the Tech, on 101, that shit felt like you could touch an artist. And Spanish dudes, we were like, yo, we could do it. That's how I felt. That's what inspired me, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna do this hard body now. Like, I'm gonna go battle everybody. I used to go to New Yorican Poets Cafe, Lyricist Lounge in the city, and battle Wordsworth, AL, Natural Elements. All these guys is the guys that I grew up around when I used to be in this underground scene battling. And then, so anyway, so Domingo goes, yo, listen, bring your demo. I was 15, I had a demo. He said, bring your demo, man. Jude lives right across the street from me. I was like, word deal? I was like, yeah, I didn't know. Not across the street, across the hall. It's like, nah, stop playing. So me and my man Leatherface, that we were going to school together, we did a demo. We went to Harlem, did a demo. I was like, yo, I can't believe it. Oh, I'm going to give it to the Beat
like
Nuts.
happening and shit.
Yo, we were open. And I'm going to fast forward back to who we were talking to. But so I go in, and we got out of school early, around 1 o'clock. That shit, nervous and
I
everything.
wouldn't even go to school that day.
Nah, we went at one. We had to go to school to, we got Dominican parents, nigga. We can't front. Yeah, I respected my parents at all times. I ain't afraid to say that.
That card, because back in the day, they used to send cards home.
Yeah.
And you see that card, you used to try to rush them. Like,
You crazy. My mother was no joke. And so I turned around and so we're there, we knock on the door. And Jew, if you ever, when you do listen to this, you'll probably know this story. You remember this. So we're knocking on the door, and Jew don't open. Keep knocking, like, fuck, man. We were feeling down, like, this shit ain't gonna happen. So I'm like, yo, Dio, man, you haven't seen Jew leave? He's like, nah, man, I haven't seen him today. So I keep knocking. So at the end, we were just bored and said, yo, let's just hang out here for 3-4 hours till he gets home. Like, that's how hungry we were. With the demo in the hand and the case of the tape, and we're sitting there. So my boy, Leatherface, my man Tone, I don't know where Tone is at now, but that's my man.
That may give him his name too?
No, my man Leatherface was from Brooklyn.
Oh.
We just had a little group at that time. He started doing the beat, and we started writing in the hallway. So through the beat, he was doing it on Jew's door. Boom, 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 mad hard, right? And I was just writing in the staircase. All of a sudden, we hear the locks unlock, like, and I get up from the staircase, and I'm like, I was excited, like, yo, Jew has a bang, he has the Nina on him. And I'm without his shirt, like half asleep, like, he's like, yo, who the fuck is knocking on my, like, I woke him up out of his sleep. And it sounded crazy to him. I'm like, yo, Jew, it's me, chill, I got my demo here. He's like, yo, what the fuck, you guys woke me up out of my sleep, what's going on? And that was a crazy story, but Jew never fronted. And Les never fronted. They let me open up a lot of shows for them. With JB and any help that I needed, I never went to ask. Like, I gave him the demo, and then I transitioned to another phase. I felt like that wasn't good enough. And then I went into a whole different phase, and then I started doing more mixtapes. I started getting my name out there. You understand what I'm saying? I never said, yo, Jew, give me this. JB, after the meeting, back to the meeting with Carlos Pimentel, JB was like, I'm going with you to Loud Records, because that's what B-Nuts are at. So he went to Loud Records. I walk into the room, new for me. Wu-Tang, a genius from Wu-Tang, is standing on wall,
chilling there.
M1 from Dead Prez. Yeah, they sitting there.
They're just all hanging out.
Yeah, just all hanging out.
nonchalant, like,
yeah,
hey,
nonchalant.
we just here.
Loud Records. Some lady with blonde hair, I forgot her name. She was very popular. She was like the head of stuff. So anyway, then Carlos comes out. He goes, oh, what up, Off? And I'm like, oh, he's Dominican, by the way, Carlos Pimentel. Like I said, Carl Thomas, managed Cuban Link. He managed Beatnuts. Nice guy. He's like, what's up? So he sees JB, and JB's like, what's up? So when I saw the eye connection, I saw the respect that Carlos had for JB. They knew each other.
Yeah.
And it was that feeling like, oh, JB made sure he came so these guys don't take me away from him or whatever the case may be. But to tell you the truth, Carlos supported me. He's like, yo, Jay, this kid is nice. He said, I want to work with you. So I opened up shows at the Tunnel. I did one of the last shows at the Tunnel.
Yeah. But take him to the, the pre-tunnel. I hear Funk Flex talking about all these drug dealers from that.
Yeah, let me tell you, I did one of the last shows in the Tunnel. Good looking at Jew and Psycho Les. JB was like, yo, you're gonna open up for them, and I opened up for them. At that time,
16.
Yeah, at that time, people were getting stabbed. At that time, I don't know if it was Capone or Nori. They tried to snatch their chain at that time, and dudes got crazy. It was around that time, that era. And I opened up for Jew and Les, and then I did a few other shows. They had me work. That's how I fell in love with Florida.
Oh shit! It's that weather in Florida, man.
That's how I fell in love with Florida.
Cali's better.
Yo, listen, I went to Florida. with the Beatnuts to open up a show. Me, Moonshine, of course you know Moonshine.
Moonshine has only been mentioned about 500 times on the show, and we
gotta
still
get-
haven't had
Is
it.
that we got to go to the West Coast for that?
Yeah, you could go, you know his store is popping. He did the Jay-Z in-store and
Yeah, that
everything.
was big.
Yeah, Moonshine was always another trendsetter in the mix of all the right, and G showed him a lot of fabric, a lot of trends, and M.A. and him, they did a lot of music, good music. Banksy, now we're gonna tie in the whole Banksy thing. So Banksy, Rick was always in the scene, as you know.
Oh, wait. Oh,
remember
continue, I'm
Rick.
sorry. No, because I was like, wait, he was going to tell us why he went to Florida, but continue with Banks.
I'm gonna tell you why I went to Florida. Because I fell in love with Florida when I went to perform out there. I got away from all the buildings, got away from the concrete.
All the space.
And I was like, oh shit, palm tree, yo, I want to live out here one day. And Disney was like an hour away, and I just used to see Michael Jordan be the only dude that would go to Disney. I'm like, yo, I want to do this. I was inspired. So anyway, I ended up in Florida years later because I just said, yo, I want to leave. I'm not doing nothing here. I had my job. I went to aviation. I did my thing, but I was like, yo, I want something new. And I just went to Florida, and I fell in love with it and made my hustle over there, and that's what I've been doing over there for 13 years now. But I can't. I'm home every other month if I could be over here, you know. But anyway, that's how I fell in love with Florida. I actually went to open up a few shows for the Beatnuts over there, and we were trying to work a record with Coogee Rap at that time, which again, rest in peace, JB, got for me. He stepped to Coogee Rap and he said, "You want to do a joint with Coogee Rap?" But I was like, "Who wouldn't? This dude is a legend."
Yeah. They're like, yo, right now.
That's not even a question. That's not even a question.
Yeah,
I
that's
would be
not
like,
even a question.
why don't you just bring him with the beat already made?
So anyway, Banksy and everybody used to meet up in All the Right, and Banksy, that's an inside joke with Banksy. I can feel that.
love his drop. I just love his drop. So
drop.
Let me tell you, very talented. Banksy was always real quiet. Randy was real quiet. Him, Angel, everybody that used to hang out there as kids in All the Right. I used to be freestyling all the time. They were around all that. They were around, and I used to see them. Him, Rick, they came up at the right time. But like he's another talented songwriter too. He could go anywhere he goes. Him and Through were the illest combination. They got to do another mixtape.
Yeah, that's true.
To me, they're the illest combination. They complement each other. It
They
was
actually do.
Yeah, it was
Big.
feeling good to listen to them together.
It makes no sense,
But
it makes sense.
It
You
does.
get
Right.
me? Like I was
makes
always
sense.
like, well, Through don't rap like you. You don't rap like Through, but
You know what I
I
started
love
listening
listening
to
to
now a lot from Corona to Cream. His
Cream
shit
the
is-
Villain?
Yeah.
that's
I'm
one
looking at
guy.
that.
That's one
It's
guy that
catchy.
honestly I
I
haven't
like
caught
it.
on to,
But I
but
fuck-
a
no,
lot
I
of
fucks
people
with
have
it.
mentioned him. Like Goon told me
It's the
about
voice. It's the voice. I don't know. It's the voice. It's a unique voice.
him. I
It's
see
a-
you in
it's a
his
unique-
comments.
No,
like,
you know
and
what,
shit.
dude?
Writing
the
the hard
videos,
eyes
the
and shit.
visuals are fucking crazy. The visuals on point.
Through, let me tell you, Through, I forgot to mention my man Through. As he knows, he was one of the first reasons why I started posting support Corona talent on my IG and why that woke me up. His mixtape was awesome. Him and Randy, I was like, wow, we do still have that in the hood. We got that. You know, M-Dog wasn't home or wasn't doing that. He wasn't home at that time, but like I was like, yo, Through and Banks, this sounds good. And they used to play around with it, like with the flows back in the days. But I didn't know, I had left. And Rick would tell me. Rick would be like, yo, man, I'm trying to see if Through do something. And then the fact that he got together with SP Killer, I think him and SP Killer got a nice vibe going.
Bro,
And
I'm
Through.
gonna be honest, I was in the studio with them like 2 weeks ago. Bro, the vibe that's in the studio when it comes to like Banksy, Through,
Amazing.
SP, bro. Yo, it feels like you remember like when you used to go like to your cousin's house that had all the games, and you would just like play whatever like it would just be mad fun. That's exactly the type of vibe it is when they're in the studio, bro.
Amazing.
SP would just go through like I don't want to say producer's name, but like you could tell a producer that like, yo, send me beats or whatever, and niggas take forever to send beats. SP was like going through lists
He's crazy.
of beats, my nigga. Like, yo, y'all feel this one now? Next. Like it was like the vibe was crazy, bro. Like, anytime I get the opportunity to go to the studio with them niggas, son, I'm always going.
And I grew up around SP on 100. I think it's funny. Yeah, nigga.
Listen to the podcast. Play it back. Play it back for you.
Nigga, in 111 and 108 there, Lex, SP Killer used to be Willie Stubbs in the hood, my man Johnny Blanco, Nutso, and myself that were really like we want to make it. You know what I'm saying? And SP Killer, like you said, used to flip laptops, thousands of beats. And because of SP Killer and because of Lex and Lex Hitless, and we were around Mobb Deep. I mean, I was around Mobb Deep too when I was with Hydra and Screwball in Long Island.
Damn,
Yeah,
Screwball.
Screwball. Yeah, I did a lot of work with Screwball, like around them.
Huh? That's before.
But
That's
Nature, I was able to. Nature at that time was the firm and everything,
Yeah.
and Nature used to be there, like SP Killer, SP be like, yo, we're in a session, you want to come through? And Nature spitting in front of you, and you're like, it's crazy. And then Nori would come through, and then you had ACD at that time. You had Mussolini. The whole thugged out into entertainment and militainment at that time was blowing, and to be around that, and that was happening in the hood.
Yeah,
So
facts.
all that kept us inspired. You know what I'm saying?
'Cause it's possible. Like you see,
possible.
it's possible. Anything's possible nowadays. Well, nowadays it's easier, but back then you had like, I'll email you my record, or download on SoundCloud and you could do whatever with it later
Back
on.
then,
Now you had to be
show
at
up
the
with a
spot.
floppy disk. Like
A floppy disk. Niggas was,
Yeah, well, real quick, because behind the scenes, you were about to give us a good story, but I said save it for the podcast.
Which
You said you had met. I don't know if you met, but you were like in ciphers with Eminem, or
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
Damn, which my man? You guys got to get my man Steve here. My man Biggie from Iconic 32. He has his foundation with Felipe Lopez and Malik Yoba from New York Undercover. Another Corona, great guy, and he does a lot of things for his kids. The reason I'm bringing up Steve, when we used to support each other, Steve used to go to school with a lot of the Natural Elements, A Butter, L Swift, AL. These guys were the underground battle rappers that you would see Eminem in that movie doing. These were them. These were these guys in New York. So Steve introduced me to that. So when he took me to these places, I would be around these people. So one day, he goes, "Yo, Off, listen, I want you to go to Baruch College. I want you to go freestyle. There's gonna be a bunch of dudes there, and I want you to go to Baruch College. So freestyle, we were doing college radio, like battling, and I had just done Stretch and Babito show, which again, huge platform at that time. I got lucky and I did Stretch and Babito with Lord Sia and Babito at that time, and I had just done that, so I was like starting this little buzz with college radio. So we get there, and when I get there, you have AL, you have like 7 different dudes like just ready to spit. So my man Biggie, Steve, which we call him, he says, "Off, come on, man, you get one of these mics." So they have those stations in college with the mics, like 5. It was like a spinning circle. So I'm sitting there, and I think Jay, you were there in Baruch College when we met Eminem. Didn't you go with us to Baruch College?
About to meet up with you guys.
Yeah, he was about to meet up. He missed the opportunity. He's a witness. So I'm like, Jay, I will call Jay. I was like, yo, Jay, let's go. Supposedly there's this white kid that's nasty that's gonna be there. So we there, right? I start spitting, and a couple people start spitting. We spit a couple of things, and I'm actually still looking for that.
For the footage?
It's chopped up.
It's
People
somewhere out there.
It's like 98 or something like that. 1990. But some people got some of the footage. I haven't seen all of it, but so all of a sudden, true story to whoever hasn't heard this. Out of nowhere, a big dude comes in, white dude, Rosenberg, which is his man, comes in. So we're like, all right, that's not him because he don't look like a rapper. So all of a sudden, this guy comes in with a faded Chicago Bull jacket, and if and when Eminem ever hears this, he could relate to it. A faded Chicago Bull jacket, a hat to the side, and 2 different sneakers. I will never forget that. It's crazy. I don't know. He had like 2 different pairs of sneakers. They just look different.
What's going on with this dude? That's
Yeah.
Eminem when he was on that shit.
And this is before Dre. This was about a couple of months before Dre discovered him. 'Cause we got the phone call.
We were gonna meet up with him again to get on my mixtape,
Yeah.
and he never made it back because he went straight.
Yeah,
to
that shit.
This yo, Jay missed him on the mixtape by like, I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
because we wanted to get him on that time, but he had to run.
And he was flying back.
Damn.
So so anyway, he comes in, right? And I'm like, all right, I never grew up to judge nobody. You know what I'm saying? I like to meet you first and whatever. And I don't judge nobody. I was like, yo, this nigga could be the nastiest nigga right now. I just want to learn from him. Yo, he gets on the mic and I wish that somebody caught that footage. He just stays, and all of a sudden they threw a beat. He's like, all right. He said, I'm Ted Bundy. I fled country, and then all of a sudden he's like, I threw my guinea pig in a microwave, and all the
like,
MCs
hold
that
on.
were around the thing were like, what the fuck is? Yo, he just got nasty. Like, this is what he put in his first album. He spit like 5 verses, and we didn't even want to rap no more. Like, not rap. I was more amazed than anything. I spit after that. We started rhyming again after that. But when Eminem just spit, and he kept spitting, and he's like, he kicked shit from Stan and stuff like that, and we didn't know that was gonna be the album like a year later.
I see what you
So
mean.
that was
He threw
Shady
his
out
freestyle, yeah. And against whoever has that footage out there.
Come
So
up
anyway, so I went back for like 2 seconds with him back and forth. I was just amazed. Like, so what's up? We exchanged info at that time because we were trying to get him on Jay's mixtape. Again, my man Biggie, Steve, we all try to help each other. Like he said, he didn't make it. And then like a few weeks later, my man Biggie calls me and tells me, yo, Dre just signed him. Because at that time, Eminem was still reachable.
Yeah.
Through AL, through New York Cafe, through Lyricist Lounge. And my man AL actually brought Eminem. All lyrics and Biggie, that made that happen in the Brew House.
See how like these big people
escalated.
are down here. I'm telling you, son. Right, this is only for now.
we
This is all
one
footage.
interview away.
If we,
I feel like
telling
every
you.
time we do a podcast, I feel like it's one podcast away. I always tell them like, yo, dude, I feel like
never
we're
know
one
whose hands it
podcast
gets
away.
into and
You
shit.
never know.
You never know.
Corey said the same
But it's
thing.
crazy though.
Huh?
Corey said the same thing.
Cool, yeah.
I just
Corey.
feel bad when they say like we want to sign Alex and he's and be like, yo, I'm out.
Nah, he gotta go. He gotta go. I'm gonna be locked up. I gotta
Chris,
kill him.
Chris come with me. But Chris didn't even smoke yet, so I'm surprised. Like, this nigga,
He's shaking. You like it shaking, Chris?
What's nigga? This nigga's thinking everything. He going through withdrawals and everything.
Yo, but yeah, that's the truth, man. That's the story that and like I said, my man, when you get my man Biggie here, he'll tell you, and MM Rick will tell you too how the grind was. And my man Rich, we used to go to school together as kids, and we used to hang out in Rick's house as kids, and I was always rapping on the corner with Creature, with Gab, and it would be me and Rich, and shout out to Corona Diner, by the way. I was there yesterday. Amazing food, amazing
Don't plug
place.
them in until we get our sponsorship.
yeah.
You haven't gotten it?
No, we gotta get a sponsorship.
Nah, that soon comes. That's in 2 more weeks. That's a follow-up.
I'm
Oh,
trying to
you
get
could
free
get
food.
you could get a Cookie Monster shake right now.
Oh, they got the them shakes are crazy.
Oh, crazy. Yeah.
Them shakes are crazy. Shout out
So-
to that episode is dropping next.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. That episode has dropped already. We gotta talk in the future.
Yo, but he, that's what we used to do, man. And with Em and Rick, and we used to come out of school, go to the Gap houses first. I don't know if you guys know about the Gap houses back in the days.
Nah, I
right.
was still in my mama's crib.
Well, here goes the bridging that we were talking about, bridging of the new generation in the past, and that's why I think this is important, what you guys are doing. As Jay will tell you, there were Gap houses back then where people would get the ill clothes for cheaper without having to the store, and you it would be in the crib, and you get
Yeah, they still got them on the
The
low.
Ojas? Don't
Yeah,
we got
yeah,
the
yeah,
Ojas, the
yeah,
basement?
yeah, they used to
Come
call them
on,
the
son.
basement.
You know
Yeah.
you done bought a
No,
few
no.
American Eagle jeans.
but they
Nah,
got
Tommy Hilfiger back in the day was the shit.
It was deep back
Right.
then, though. It was like real deep. Like you could get some crazy in the
Some
North
North
Faces.
Face, yeah, North Faces.
North Faces. So we used
Columbia was popping too.
to Columbia, hell yeah, with
You
the
get the
windbreakers.
bugaboo off. What?
Oh, the bugaboo! Wow. See, there's
This
not,
nigga's not
there's
as
not a
old
gap.
as you think he is.
There's not a gap as big as you think it is, right?
No,
He
no, this
knows.
nigga's pretty old. That's why.
I'm turning 30.
When I
in
was
December.
when
Okay.
I went into high school, he was already a super senior.
How old are you?
He's fine. He's
Like
only
she's 26?
29. He's 28,
I'm 28.
29.
See, that's the
If the
best.
girl from the bar is listening to last night, I'm 22. Nah, but yeah, 28.
Yeah. no.
Nah, but still, I mean, like, the reason I get that, how do you call it? Like,
First of all,
Not the benefit.
Alex never came out his house when he was a kid. His mom didn't let him out the house.
that got
That's why
nothing
you
to
don't
do with here or
understand.
there. You know what? And yeah, that's right. And my mama raised me, nigga. Shout out to my mama, nigga. I love you. Unlike you can't say that, right?
I love my mama.
You don't say that shit. You be like, yo, ma, I'll see you later. No, but I was blessed, basically. I don't know if it's blessing or whatever the case is. I don't know. I'm slacking for words right now. But let's just say that bridge that you say, like, we're one of the last few that got to be in the middle of that bridge. where we can reach out to you guys and be like, yo, we saw what you're doing, and now we can still reach out to the younger guys and be like, yo, we're watching what you're doing as well. Correct. So I just feel like we have that balance. We're gifted with that balance. But
100%, you're right.
But is there, for anybody that doesn't know, because prior to this, I didn't know, but for someone who's listening right now with a lost face saying, but what does Off the Mental do? What is it that you do?
What is it I do?
I should have asked that first, but
what I do is simple.
50 minutes later.
Besides the love for music, besides the love for music, right now, trying to guide my son through the whole music thing. I work for Chrysler for a lot of years. So I went from doing music over here when my son was born. I decided to either do two things. For you to dedicate yourself to the music 100%. When my son's mother, got pregnant, I made a big decision. My producer, by the way, which I haven't mentioned yet, for the right time, was Rael. Yeah, I don't know if you.
Hey, Raiz.
Yeah, Raiz my right hand man.
Tell Raiz about me. That's my nigga, man.
Raiz is my man. So I caught a couple of deals, independent deals, before anything. So as far as what I do and the reason I do it is because what I've done.
One thing I'm noticing is how you've been around people when they were just like, I don't want to say nobodies, but like the beginning phase. I'm talking about like the beginning, like where we'll probably laugh right now if somebody says, yo, I'm a rapper now.
It's crazy.
It's like, like another one. But look,
I'm a rapper now.
There you go.
I'm waiting to put on a beat and fuck.
DJ Blaze, now currently known as Blaze the Rapper. Building.
DJ Blaze.
Start making people famous. I'm one of them. 10 years from now, 5 years from now, you're gonna hear from me. Blaze, I'm the rapper. Just gotta make stars.
Blaze, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think them girls from Riviera left it already. If they still waiting.
Nah, they're dancing now.
They're dancing.
They working.
They're working.
It's crazy.
I can't go inside Riviera or something. I lose everything I stand for the minute I walk through. I be telling, I be giving myself that prep talk, like, yo, they're just doing it for money. They don't really love you and shit. Next thing you know, I'm there like, yo, nah, but I think she feeling me though.
Man, they love you. You don't think so?
That was a good little
He works for them. That's how they catch you. Don't listen to that. That's how he's trying to sneak you in. He's probably hitting them up like, yo.
Turns out that nigga been having an investment with the
Yo, I believed him for a minute.
Yeah, right?
He made it believable.
Like, I said that like, really? They talked about me? What they say about me?
Don't worry about it. She'll make me feel good.
Damn, yeah, made me blush over here, son.
Yeah, dog.
Let's bring that.
Will,
So that's the truth, man.
what's something about you nobody knows other than everything else we didn't know? No, because we didn't know. I'm saying like, so now I'm talking about like something that like people must be like, what? This nigga watches the Notebook, like.
Yeah, no. Back to, like I said, what I do is, besides my love for passion, I don't know, man. Like, I'll tell you one thing.
That's what he does.
I'll tell you one thing. I thrive. Everything that I do or I try to get, I earned. You understand what I'm saying? Like I earned. I worked hard at it, and I try to support people. And like Kri, that's Kri. I drove Kri crazy. Kri will tell you.
Let me tell you something.
I know he
about
told you how crazy I drove him, right?
Nah.
All right.
But let me tell you something about Kri. I feel like the reason I brought him along with Awkd Salad. I wait. You act like I can't just fire you, son. This will be the last show you ever do.
This camera hits the floor. Fire me. Say something.
He's like, after you put the camera down, we're gonna talk.
All right, we're gonna talk after. But this might be your last episode. Be careful what you say next. But
genuine. I'm just genuine, dog.
I feel like Kri, the reason I brought him along, is because he's been around like very influential people. Like I feel like Kri was blessed with being there with Dynasty, Rick, let's just say you, like, and man, all these people know who Kri is. It is like, motherfucker, you haven't done nothing with that shit. Like that shit gets me mad because it's like, yo, Kri, you should be above and beyond all this shit already.
Well, because he started. It's like joining now. All this is joining now with you guys. And again, if I would have met Kri before the Corona United stuff and all that, and I knew you guys were doing
next topic.
this. You know, the Corona United stuff. As soon as I met him, and a lot of people didn't show up, you know, and I was a little disappointed because I was excited for that because I wanted like to show people like, yo, this dude is nasty like this. Like you guys should do this. Like I used to call, for example, when Drew first dropped his mixtape, I said, dude, you got to get KS, you got to get Charlie Villanueva. Your first video, show the power that Corona has. You got a lot of talent there. This video that you're about to shoot, go get Koki, go get KS and do his first video. He went and grabbed Koki. If you look at Drew's video, Drew got Koki and KS. They're playing cops, and these are guys that are on big shows right now. And Drew got him on the first video.
Damn.
And people don't peep that yet. And I told Drew, and I was like, yo, Drew, that's the wave. You like that's what you got to do. Like we don't have to go anywhere else right now. Like you got to thrive off for that. You got the biggest DJ on the radio that's from our hood. You got Camilo.
That's huge.
Right.
Yeah, that is huge.
I mean, come on. You got the biggest dude on the radio that's like that. And again, if you need to work a record or whatever, it's all about execution. Make a plan and make it work. Back to what we were talking about since Santana and Al Goon. If you would have had the right machine at that time or whatever, I think that was one of the hottest records out at that time.
Yeah.
Well,
For the hood.
in
coming
his
up at the time.
defense, in his defense, but then again, when I tell you I understand it, if that record was so big, why wouldn't no one from the OG side reach out to him and say, "Let me help you"?
See, that's always been controversial. And let me tell you, everybody always used to say, yo, why so-and-so didn't put you on, or why? Honestly, nobody owes me nothing. I would never, and everybody should feel like that. I never held anything against Juju or Psycholess. A lot of people used to tell me that, industry people. Like, yo, Ju don't put you on it. Like, yo, he don't owe me nothing. I'd rather him not put me on. He's doing me a good deed. I don't want nothing easy. And actually, when it came to it, and I needed to do some shows or whatever, he looked out, but I didn't need anything else. I wanted to learn on my own. I wanted to grind on my own, and I was in situations that I could have. And I know if I needed anything, I'm pretty sure he would have probably helped out if I needed. But, you know, I was even to do a song with Cool G-Rap. I mean, that wasn't easy. But again, at the same time, G-Rap wasn't even going to do it with me unless he heard me spit first. That's another thing that you might not, that you said that you wouldn't know. I don't know if any other artist had to go through this, but I had to go through this. When JB said, yo, you're going to do a joint with G-Rap, and G-Rap showed up to the studio. JB and a couple other guys were like, yo, G-Rap don't do nothing with anybody unless he thinks you nice. Like, he ain't going to come here and do nothing garbage. So we sat in the studio, and G-Rap was like, yo, what's up, man? Like, you know, his lips. He's like, what you got for this song? And I spit it for him. Two of my money makers, dice shakers, and dark vaders, tri-state traders, puffing and G Vegas with lobsters. It was crazy verse I was writing, and he said, go ahead, spit your second verse again. So I spit it again. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It was quiet just like this. You can hear a pin drop. And you know, G-Rap in the studio, and I'm a young kid, and you got dudes, they were watching from there. There were a couple of dudes. It wasn't like 800 dudes. He didn't roll with a lot of people. It was me, JB, rest in peace, and him. And all of a sudden, I spit the second verse. He looked at JB. He's like, yo, give me 15 minutes. Yo, G-Rap is a legend, dog. And if you go to YouTube, I mean, somebody loaded it a long time ago. I don't follow those things, but you know, or look for views. But it's called Living It Up. And G-Rap, in 15 minutes, dog, had a verse written.
Did his thing.
It's like I didn't understand how he even put those words together. He said, "I'll sharpshoot your heart, the bagels, drugs on like yo."
Well,
like,
sometimes it takes that though, like from another rapper to motivate another rapper. Like, oh, we all like with the whole Corona United thing, which I told myself I wouldn't speak on no longer. But the fact that 77 and a half rappers was on it, it made it every single one like say like, you know what, I'm a rap now, and I'm a rap too. It made cameramen for the Awkward Silence say I'm a rap too on it. So it's like, yo, everybody this one.
Cameraman on Awkward Silence got the mixtape before the Corona United.
yeah, could he had a little shine before?
Oh, I know. We put it, nigga. What is
I peeped
it?
that. I
Cash
peeped that.
on the map.
I peeped that,
COD,
Kareem.
nigga.
COD. Take it easy, Blaze.
Blaze is leaving the place. Like, ladies and gentlemen.
Blaze NYC. You can follow me
yo.
on the Instagram. You got that. DJ Blaze NYC. This is the Fisher Podcast.
Hey, yo.
Thank you, my brother.
The
only podcast.
Shout out to you and Diamond tonight.
That's it. Diamond, I'm coming right now.
If anything, go live on Facebook. We'll be there. Or Instagram. Yeah.
I'm gonna be in my room just throwing singles.
No, but yeah, I lost my train of thought now. Oh, so yeah, so the whole Corona United thing. So you came back from like the no more rapping to jump on that, or
No, like Randy and Drew had told me like, yo, you should get back into it. We did a song. I flew down a couple of years ago and I did a song when Gab came home. Shout out to Gab Gotcha. It was Gab Gotcha, me, Drew, and Banksy. I came to visit my mom because like I just come over here, to visit and see my family and friends. And then Drew was like, yo, Banksy was still living here. That was right before he left. So he's like, let's go to the studio. So we went and did a song. And that was, we did a corner block. It was a hot song. I liked it. And I don't know what made me Corona United. Yeah, that I think that just made me. I jumped on a flight, Awkd, and DNA was like, yo, we're gonna do it this day. I said, yo, I'm gonna take a flight just for a day to go do this video.
Damn.
Like I haven't done nothing like this since I was maybe 19 years old. Like for music, like I want to do it. So by the way, I didn't.
Shout out to you for doing that.
Yeah, I jumped on a plane.
Meanwhile, you couldn't get dudes from 37th Avenue to show up.
yeah, how does that work? A nigga flew in and
But I did that, and again, what made me come is the fact that I loved what DNA was doing. He was bringing people together, and half of the dudes, I didn't know on a personal level, but I just liked the whole idea, and it drove me. Of course, I knew Nut and MA and everybody else through and bang, but I didn't just come for that. You understand what I'm saying? I came because I was like, wow, I'm trying to see there's a vibe going on here. Like, let's see if this is really gonna go on. Right. So so DNA hit me up, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna make it happen. We kept going back and forth. And I told DNA, I respect what you're doing. And I called Korea, and I jumped on a plane, came, went back, and then I started driving him crazy about a month or two ago. I was like, yo, this video got to come out. Like, you cannot lose the vibe. All these.
Where is that video?
He's working.
I should be asking.
He's working. He's working hard on the creator. Well, DNA. I spoke to DNA. I text DNA, and he's been busy. He's been busy. But what I told Korea before I got the green light, I said, let me ask DNA if you could give me a skit of mine just to keep anybody else's skit that he had ready. I would have put it up, but just to keep the whole thing going, because he worked so hard to bring everybody together. You just don't throw a project out like that. We couldn't do that back in the days. In general, people beef with each other in New York. So DNA did something that was very interesting. He didn't have to do that. No rappers is doing that. They're thinking about themselves. DNA, that's what I like about him. Again, I don't know DNA on that 50,000 million level. Like, right. I didn't grow up with the kid or nothing, but we talk and stuff like that. And I respect his game. You understand what I'm saying? He's a good kid. He's a good dude.
From the bottom, he did his thing.
It was a dope move. It was a very big move.
And who else? He's repping hard on a different platform.
I mean, we should have got on that song, but
you should have.
Way too late now.
You're just talking shit on it.
No,
and there was
I
a lot.
Rapped. I got bars, money.
Yo, you didn't hear his bars? Go ahead.
I think I heard something one time.
But if you have bars, we'll be more than glad to hear them.
No, anytime.
Oh, we would hear it right now. Would you like a beat right now?
We'll do it later. Oh, we'll find a beat. We'll do it.
Oh, all right. We hit the record button real quick. We got the beat. Whatever beat you want, we'll Google it.
Yeah, man. Like that's one thing that I always do, man. Like, it was just that one. That's what I love doing. That's what I love doing. Like, right now, my mind is on mortgage, and you know what I'm saying. When your mind shifts.
Well, because you're older, you're more mature, you're focusing on other things. You got a family, you got things.
When I left to Florida, that was the whole point. I had to dedicate myself. Either I was going to hustle in the street and do music, or I was going to raise my son and get a job. I couldn't do the music that I wanted, raising my son, working. I couldn't do it. Maybe some people could do it, but I just couldn't. You have to dedicate more to get that right music out of you. Right. When I was doing my thing, I had an investor giving me money, paying to stay home and do music, or I lived with my mom when I was in junior high school, whatever. Then I left my mom's place and got my own studio. Like, it was different. But when my son was born, that's what made me decide, I'm gonna leave to Florida, man. I want to go raise my son out of Corona, because at that time, there were little kids, already getting fucked up on the Ave and everything like that.
Yep. Adams was one of them.
How I say, Chris? Yo, you know what? I'm sorry. I apologize. We gotta target this nigga now. Oh, okay, cool. You fired. This is your last day on the show, so it's like I feel bad.
You're gonna get 2 weeks notice in right now.
Put your 1 week notice in. You fired. You know who reminds me of a younger you? Phil or Real.
Facts.
I feel like he rather
'Cause
than
Phil
it's
is,
like
like,
he's the
connecting
one
the
that
dots.
shows
Very
mad
creative.
love to everyone.
Very creative.
Like I feel he's like a supporter as well. Like, which I had said before. Like I'm not a very big fan of supporting.
I'm waiting on a project from Phil the Real. Let me tell you how I met Phil. I came the other day to New York, that one day shoot, and I was looking for Creed and I was looking for MA. First time I seen Phil, because obviously, you know, I wasn't even living here while Phil was actually, you know, in Corona. And I went up to him. I don't know if he knew who I was. I was like, yo, what up, Phil? He's like, who you? I was like, off the mental. I was like, yo, I'll be watching you, dog. He's like, oh, what up, my man, love. But what I do see from him, like you said, he's very animated.
Yeah.
He's very animated, and he gets into his one bar. You could see his expression on his face.
He does
He could be
have
like, "Yo, Poland Spring, I do my thing." You know, that's Phil the Real.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's him. And is he talented? Yeah, I haven't heard a lot of music from him because I haven't. I've heard. I saw the video that he did with the garbage cans on fire one time.
Oh yes.
Like a remix he did or something like that. That's when I.
To the Seen It All beat?
To the
Yeah,
the Seen It All. Yes, yes.
Yeah. That was it.
Shout out to Chris for that video. Not you, nigga. The other Chris that shot that video.
Oh,
Please, no.
Please
that was
no
a pretty,
photo.
That was a pretty cool video.
Please no photos. Chris, the original Chris. Who does, nigga?
We blood out here, man.
Finally, he admits it on the fucking show.
Admits
There.
it.
Yeah, so he's got it. And Boog's Baked, by the way. Don't sleep on Boog's Baked.
I was just with him on Tuesday. No, because that nigga. Can you relax?
Kid, did you
You
tell?
remember if I suck him? Because I'm about to be like, that kid is on a whole nother level.
He's
like,
on another level.
Yeah.
fuck, nigga.
Do you understand what I'm talking about now? How I see things that we have in our hood.
But that's good. That's great because they don't know that. Like the detachment is that we don't know that the OGs are watching us, and the OGs sometimes don't let us know that they're watching us. So we're more like, man, fuck you and
It's
your
mad-
time.
it's mad
Like, we don't know
random
what
'cause
you
they-
did. No, like
it-
honestly, I'm gonna be honest. That's
Nah,
what
it
they
is.
say. Not me. What I said, we're on the bridge. But the younger is saying like, yo, I don't care about.
Yeah,
like,
you're
you know,
right.
I'll be honest with you.
You're correct.
I'll be honest on the show. Who I don't feel like I should give credit, but like it's a big deal, is to Juju. Sometimes I felt like I was this attack because I was like, what this guy do? And everybody's like, oh, he was a beat nuts, he was a beat nuts. And I wasn't understanding that. And I was like, nobody even really heard the beat nuts. Like, and it was like, no, it was big, blah, blah, blah.
It was big. They had
And it
that
was
same
like,
thing.
I was like trying to go against it, not understanding it. And then later on I understood it, like, oh, okay, now I see like how hard it is to make it out there. And like it's a fucking, they paved the way and everything.
They
but
brought Fat
but
Joe
what I'm
to
saying
the
is
hood,
that
everything.
when you're that far away from the attachment, is like that's when it becomes a well, we don't give a fuck what you did back in the 80s. Like we don't do that no more over here and shit like that. So, not saying that it's right, but I understand.
No.
So,
No, you're right. You recognize it.
He plugged in Chris Rock right there, like that.
oh, that is Chris Rock. That's
Chris
right?
Rock, I
Nah,
like
but
that.
it is the truth. I
I mean,
mean,
you're right. They paved their way, man. They brought. Let me tell you, pun to the hood. You know that's huge, man. Fat Joe, it just felt real. You understand what I'm saying? Like that was the closest we ever felt to like the videos off the books and everything. We were all in those videos. That was huge.
That's a big song. It's off the books. Shit.
Yeah.
That shit still goes rank hard.
You know, watch out now. We're in
Yeah.
those like crazy. Like we were like, oh my god, you saw me.
I feel like those videos like influence a lot of the Action Bronson videos. Like Action Bronson's videos are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
If you see like the Watch Out Now video, is
Yeah,
it's
we were
crazy.
on Watch Out Now. Now off the books, it was Watch Out Now, I think, and of course
like
Raina,
they're like the dress
Raina
like the
the
cops
Tag.
running through the.
No, we were in Watch Out Now. No, that was the one with Akon, I think.
oh, yes, I remember that.
They did VIP and then they went to Man.
Yeah, the Watch Out Now, we were by the pool.
That was with Akon.
The one with Akon was VIP. Yeah, it was. No, the Watch Out Now we were in, and Rain of the Tag. Any video that they did, anything they did, they always Jew always brought the hood, and Les always showed love to the hood. So, yeah, like I said, 100% is a lot of people will ask, like, but you know what, man, you do your own thing, and I have no regrets. I can never say nobody. Because of him, I got to see Pun in the studio, man. I'll tell you another story real quick. I did a song with Triple Sace. It was me and Triple Sace on a song. We had DJ Sinister, X-Man. He did the chorus for us scratching. So JB was like, "Yo, listen, I want you to meet Joe. I want you to spit for Joe." because he's gonna be with Terror Squad today over there. Let's go. And you know, obviously at that time it was Beatnuts, Pun, and Joe. I was excited to meet Pun.
Just being there.
Just being there. Armageddon, right? So JB goes, we're going to the studio. I was like, to the studio? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man, Terror Squad, everybody's there. I was like, let's go. We go to the city. I think it was Quad. We went to. And when we're there, Armageddon is there doing some beats. Prospect had just walked in. Sace was there. Joe wasn't there. So I'm sitting on the sofa while JB is just there waiting for Joe to show up. And this is what I hear. And I hear it through the speakers while the engineer is there, like, and I look, and it was Pun, dog, in the dark. But I could see like his silhouette. Jay, how many more minutes, Jay? How many more minutes we got? Because I know you got to shut down. Just tell me now, be real.
A few minutes because we got to make some noise.
Okay. All right, cool. Whatever. So Pun is sitting there. He's like breathing, like, and I'm sitting on the sofa, and I'm like, I blocked out the word, and I'm like, yo, that's Pun in there.
That was a big silhouette, by the way, right?
So that was a big silhouette, but I only got to hear like a couple of words from Pun. He spoke to somebody like, yo, what you guys doing? You punch me in? Like he said some shit like that. And it was Pun breathing. He used to sit down and spit, and they used to have to punch him in. Like,
So he really
then
had
in the
a
middle of
bar-
Little Italy, you know, I mean, from what I saw at that time, and then I saw Pun again at the Puerto Rican parade. You know, itching and crawling. What's this? Damn, talking about the beatnuts. This just sounds something like some beatnut beat. Yeah. I'll give y'all a taste of what I used to be. Let's see what comes to my mind as I sit and see. Yeah, I see Alex and I see JC. I see my nigga Jay and I see Cree. Anything y'all niggas think y'all could be, believe me, I could sit right here and both of us, we could both be. Now let me go into my brain so I can connect the gap between the new generation and those that remain. Yo, I'm actually sitting here about the freestyle. They say ain't off the man till you got your name. You haven't rapped in a while. My flow is stupid, kid. If you think I can't rap, welcome to Christmas, nigga. Here's the gifts and rap. I'm ready for y'all. Y'all can never do your thing. Go ahead, I already ran through 4 Poland Springs. Here goes the water, no chorus, I can't afford this. My nigga, my raps, I used to rock fangs like a walrus. Back in the days with the gold caps. Now let's go into the brain cell and go back to some old raps. Let's see. See what I got. Yo, that's my word, I want a home or the yard to land my own jet. A red rug lay flat from the gate to the doorsteps. A large gate to the doorsteps. Y'all niggas gotta understand when I talk, nigga, I really rep. As a matter of fact, I want my tombstone dipped in chrome. Scatter my bones next to Tupac, Biggie, and Al Capone. Slowly let my sins drift. I'ma leave my son and my daughter their father's gift so they can see some platinum hits. Even if this world don't give me a chance, I'm ready to leave. So tell the devil that I'm ready to dance. I'ma leave this universe broke. You laughing shit ain't funny. I'ma have Bill Gates crying, asking me for money. Every move that I make, every step that I take is accurately planned to keep me further and further from Jake. I'ma stay taking Benjamin strictly by the stack. If it means holding the gat and pointing targets on the map, consider me crazy. Trilly, y'all niggas too. If you could throw the beat, it don't matter, cause I could rap with flu. My flow's stupid. As at any time that I do this ain't an intro, it ain't an outro, I just do this. And whatever you throw at me, that's what I was known to do. You could talk about these wires and this board, how it's blue. Or you could talk about these buttons and how shit look mean when it goes with the white in the first row and the fifth is the green. Niggas is still acting like I can't rhyme what I used to do and play. That's why I get inspired when I see DNA. DNA reminds me of me and the hunger that I had had. I still got the same hunger, but it's in my stomach when I grab. I still move it. Microphones, nigga, I still do it. You could throw a beat 30 bars and I could keep spitting this fluid like game. Anything that I spit right now, I didn't write. Only that verse that had about 9 bars and that was alright. I throw so many shits that I might throw off your brain. Ask JC, they used to have to rip the mic out my hand because if not, I would never stop. They used to say, forget the crown, forget the king, office going right to the top, the cream of the crop. I'm from the hood, from the 11368, where niggas used to be like, one day this kid is gonna be great. Every time they went right, I used to go left. Every time the cops came, I dropped everything and took my last breath. But never went to jail, ain't afraid to say it. I ain't no thug, but I will snuff anybody. And a quiet nigga don't talk mugs, I stay quiet. I don't speak like most do. I just talk about the future and the shit that I could do. I got my son that's 15, I got my niggas with the podcast. Niggas about to take off and y'all niggas about to die fast. A whole different level. Y'all niggas could throw me a topic and you'll see how Off the Mental got the word and how he chop shit. Ask MM Rick, ask my man Rich, a finer. Or if not, y'all niggas could go have a shake in Corona Diner. I could promote while I freestyle and my flow stay tight. You could cop some kicks like I did a few days ago in All the Right. Besides that, I've been around since days of bumping. We used to stand in Junction kicking girls out to the comping and still moving on 37 and 101. You could ask, forget it, man. This shit is done.
We brought it back. We brought it back.